Good morning, Cancer. Happy St. Patty's Day. So we get some luck coming in. All right, this week, hopefully it's very good for you. Let's take a look at the overall energy, what's really shifting in your love life right now. I look at you first, then I look at the energy around you. And plus today, I will look at no contact for Aries through Pisces. I'll get a hidden truth or a message from them. So let's get into it for my Cancers. All right. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Wands. All right. I feel it. I get it. All right. It just feels like you've tried everything. You've been constantly, a lot of trials and tribulations. This card just is that, right? It's some of the problems we can put on ourselves. We want to get ahead, so we do a lot extra. And we do things ourselves. We take care of everything ourselves. We try to hold everything in and just keep it together. But then there's times where we just don't have any more fuel in the tank. So we really do have to kind of set back and sit with what we can control and what we can't control. So you may have been dealing with a setback, all right? And the 9 of Wands can say that, but you may be feeling like, should I give up on something? And the thing is during these energies, you don't have to make a choice to actually really truly give up. It's more about surrendering just for the time being, as there's a break in the energy right now, and there's still another go. There's a second wind coming in. There's more to come. You're closer than you think with this kind of energy. But right now, when we're under stress like this, or we're just feeling like all this work was for nothing, or we just feel like, we're doing all the work and we're not getting any help, or it feels like nobody's, returning the favor, we can feel like giving up. And usually when we give up right before the magic is going to happen. All right. And I see the King of Pentacles underneath there. So I can see, you really got a head on your shoulder. You're really trying to, keep a good game face on. Maybe work's getting to you. Maybe life's getting to you. Maybe you had a plan, but it just doesn't seem like it's working out. But let's get to it and see what's really happening for you. All right, so your energy, Ace of Pentacles. All right, so look at this already this week here. We have the new moon coming up, and there's another opportunity opening up for you. All right, so you're closing up a cycle is how I like to look at that with the 9 of Wands. Like, you might not be seeing the finish line just yet, and you're not quite sure that you're going to get there, but we're seeing you're closer than you can even think here to something opening up, breathing space, a new doorway opening. So what's your biggest challenge right now? And I'm seeing the 9 of Pentacles. All right, so you have a lot on your plate and you're used to doing and getting what you want. Now the 9 of Pentacles can be, I get what I want. I'm very self-sufficient. I spend a lot of time by myself. Maybe you're really working on, I want somebody in my life. Sometimes the 9 of Pentacles can be an energy of, you've spent most of your life taking care of yourself, doing your own thing, and doing for others and caring for yourself, that you really don't need anybody. So it's hard to be vulnerable. And when you're trying to get in a relationship, it can feel like, it's just like another world. Like, I don't know what's going on. I have everything I need. I've worked so hard on myself. I worked on my life. And now where's my opportunity? I did everything right. And it just feels like something's, out of my reach. All right. So how are you viewing the situation? I can see that there is a level of being burnt out. And sometimes when people have really high expectations of themselves and of other people, and they work really hard and they know their worth, sometimes it can be hard to be vulnerable. And so we get to a breaking point, like the 9 of Wands can be, you really got to get to a breaking point before you let somebody into your life, right? And that's what happens with the 9 of Wands. You really want somebody there, you really want to open up, you want somebody, then the guards have to come down, and it's really hard to be independent and then all of a sudden, figure out how to get in a relationship with somebody. But it looks to me like you're so ready for that 10 of Pentacles. Like the 10 of Pentacles is right here behind in the window, and the Ace of Pentacles is here. It's like, I'm ready, so why is it not here yet? Seems to be your biggest question right now. Now let's see how you're viewing your situation or the person. And I'm seeing the 9 of Cups. All right, you got the 9s showing up for you. All right. So the nines to me are a very powerful number. It's a number of completion. You've done everything that you need to do to get to where you're at. And sometimes it simply takes just sitting back and focusing on, the things you enjoy, spending a little time on the achievements that you have, and spending more time on yourself, right? And putting the focus back on yourself to bring happiness into your life. Because if you're trying to attract somebody in, or you're connecting with somebody, and you're worn out about it, they're picking up that vibe, that energy, and they may be misreading you, reading it wrong. All right. So and also I can see, are you going after something that fully fulfills you? Because maybe some of you are waiting for a new opening and it's just not coming in just yet. Because the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands says you've completed something, you've worked really hard towards something, and it looks to me like you've gotten pretty much everything that you want so far, but you're not feeling as fulfilled. But also I can see that there's somebody that you may truly desire. And so we're going to have to take a look at your person and see what their challenge is with this connection. And also remember, the nines are showing that you've put the work in. So there is some sort of gift coming in. And it's more of, you're looking, to me, it feels like you thought more. You thought there was going to be more, or maybe you wanted more, because that's the challenge. And maybe it just feels like you're not happy with the outcome just yet. And it's still coming your way. All right, so your person, I see the Eight of Pentacles, one step behind you. All right, so somebody here, it looks like, that's the challenge. Maybe it's timing. You're waiting for somebody to give you the offer. You're waiting for the right person to come in and to be on the same frequency as you. So let's see what their main challenge is. You have a lot of Earth coming up, and that's been coming up all this week. So it feels like, a lot of us really have to ground ourselves before we make any irrational decisions. It really has to come from a place of, feeling happy and grateful and satisfied with where we're at and with the current situation. And that works in the law of assumption and attraction anyways. When you're happy with what you got, more is to come. But if you're not happy with where things are at, or you're reflecting that out as a mirror, and that's why you're seeing unhappiness around you, or not seeing what you've worked towards show up for you yet. So your person's biggest challenge with this situation is the Queen of Wands. All right. Maybe they're a little bit, but one step behind you. Maybe they're very attracted to you, but they could be intimidated by you. This could be somebody also that just lacks courage here. You can kind of see somebody, Eight of Pentacles, who's got their focus on you, who does see things, something about you, sees it working, but they also see you as the Nine of Pentacles. So maybe you're a little bit more successful, a little bit more outgoing. Maybe you're more assertive and more confident than this person is used to. Maybe you have high expectations and this person wonders if they can really meet your expectations. I can see that there's no question about whether or not you are talented, whether or not you're magnetic, very attractive. But if you're feeling down and worn out in the Nine of Wands, and you're letting life get to you, your person's maybe misreading that and seeing you as worn out and tired and not really, or stressed out all the time, right? And that could be why they're avoiding the situation. This can be a very avoidant energy, right? It can be somebody here that feels like they pull their energy away, but this is a Virgo energy. So this could be somebody that's analyzing you, maybe even overthinking the situation and not quite sure what to do to approach you or to make you happy, and that's the challenge with the Queen of Wands. Sometimes their focus can be all over the place because they're overextended, right? Or they're stressed out, and your stress may bleed into the relationship. And you may assume that anytime your person pulls away, the Eight of Pentacles, or is focused on something else, you may feel like the focus isn't on you, and it could make you feel insecure about the situation. And somebody like you, who's worked so far to get to where you're at, maybe isn't comfortable with that insecurity that's coming up. And because most likely that's not what's really happening, is somebody is misreading the energy between the two of you. Now, maybe there's a lot of pressure coming from you. Maybe they feel that you're hyper-focused on them, and there's a lot of pressure, and they're just not sure what to do just yet. So let's see how they view you and what's shifting this week. I see the Seven of Swords. So I'm getting somebody here feels like you are not being 100% transparent with them. There could be something going on that you're keeping from them. They may be trying to observe you to see what you're up to. Maybe you lack trust issues with this person, so you can be controlling. Don't get triggered by the word controlling. Many of us are. All right. Many of us that have been through or have any trust issues, we got to know what's going on. We got to, handle our biz and take care of stuff. We want what we want, we go for it, right? But sometimes with this energy, we plow through things or plow over people because we need certainty and we don't trust the person. So we want to make things happen faster. And so that could be a control issues, control for our safety. I don't want to invest in something if I don't feel like, it's worth it. But you may be feeling like, why isn't this person taking action towards me? And honestly, this person could be, trying to figure out what's really going on here. And maybe they're having a hard time being 100% honest. This could be new to them. Maybe you're somebody here that is just very confident in yourself, or somebody that has a lot of control, and you're looking really good and you do a lot of things, and this person here may be working towards that goal. And honestly, I'm just feeling like you may be misreading somebody with this Seven of Swords. You may be feeling overwhelmed with your own life and where things are going because you're ready, so ready for the next step that you're thinking somebody doesn't want this, but they just might be a step behind you. So what is shifting with them this week? I see the Four of Pentacles. All right. So I do see somebody here who's still kind of holding back a little bit. This is somebody that doesn't want to let go of this opportunity with you, but you can see that it's really hard for them to open up. So for some reason they're feeling, and I don't know, it could be different for each and every one of you, why your person may be feeling a little overwhelmed with opening up at this. They may feel like you just don't trust them, or they don't know what to say. And they may be trying to look for the right moment to actually be clear. This person may feel like no matter what they say, you may not believe them because that Seven of Swords is there. All right. But you can see the Four of Pentacles as somebody, you got somebody's attention. This is somebody who you've already got them hooked. They want to see where something goes, but there's a lot of, they're controlling, they're holding their heart back. They're a little bit cautious about the situation. They may be even wondering if they have enough to give to this. Can they supply you with what you need? Because you're the Queen of Wands. And a Queen of Wands is somebody who needs to get their needs met. And if not, you're going to make sure you do get them met. And it can be a very demanding presence. I love the Queen of Wands. A lot of us feminine energies who are very outgoing and very enthusiastic and very masculine can really have a sense of confidence that other people are not that confident with, right? So you may be super direct, and just, you know what you want. Well, you could be dealing with somebody here who avoids getting too close to somebody or attached to somebody too quickly, even though they see your value, see your worth. Now, what this is telling me is somebody just may feel like they can't meet your expectations. All right. And so ask yourself, what are your expectations? And are you aiming to be with somebody who really isn't as far in life as you are, or they just know that they may not be able to fulfill your expectations down the road? All right. And so if this isn't your story, I'll look at Aries through Pisces for you. And I'll see if you're in no contact, what they're thinking, or a hidden message. But right now, what I'm seeing here is the challenge or what's shifting in your life, right? And I'm seeing here that somebody holds back, not because they don't want to invest in this connection, but they may feel like they can't handle your demands of them. And it's not that your demands, a Queen of Wands knows what they want. So it's not that your demands are invalid. I mean, somebody like you is going to get what you want, but you may be expecting somebody who's not built to meet your needs or can't always meet your needs. And that's going to be a lot of pressure on somebody. All right. And it does feel like your person, can see the possibility. You get the 8, you get the 9 and of Pentacles, right? So it does see that somebody wants the same thing and can see moving far or going far with you, but they just may be slower to open up than you are. You're more confident than this person. So you've got to ask yourself, are you dealing with somebody's, life situation, behavior, what they really truly have to offer, what they're giving you? Is it enough? Because if they've been trying to give to you the Four of Pentacles can say somebody's been trying to give you what they have, but they only have so much, but it wasn't enough for you. So they read that as, I'm not good enough for you. Whereas you can see the potential in somebody, but the potential ends up adding pressure to somebody else. The potential, if you see the potential in somebody else, you're saying to them, I'm not okay with where you are right now, but I know you'll give me more, or they'll be better in the future. So they have to live up to that expectation. All right. So that's what I'm seeing what the problem is here. It doesn't mean that things aren't shifting in this relationship. What does Spirit want you to focus on this week? And I see the Hermit card. And this here is also, this is kind of going within. And I am seeing that your biggest challenge right now is being separate from somebody, a little bit of space. And right now, your biggest challenge is timing with this person. But this could be a long road that you've been on with this person. And this is one of these roads that if it's really meant, you and this person here, you've got them invested. It's one worth traveling, but just looking at it from a different perspective and taking a different route. All right. And so you may be being asked to pull your energy back a little bit from this person this week, just to observe them and see what's really going on with them, because that's where you're going to get the piece of the puzzle. Now let's look at Aries through Pisces. You have Virgo energy showing up for you, a lot of earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And so I am seeing here that there's an earth energy, a very grounded energy. So if you're in your head, or there's intensity, or passion, and you're just needing fire, and you're needing fast, and you're needing furious, that's going to infuriate you, especially with the Queen of Wands, because it's going to seem like you're not getting what you want when things are maybe moving actually in your favor, but you're just not seeing it clearly right now because it's not what your ego is seeing, what you want. So you may be taking it personal. Now let's look at Aries through Pisces for you. You can, I'm not going to respond to certain comments because it's I can't answer personal reads, but it's the pattern and the challenge, which is the most important thing that's really going to shift what's going on in your life. And if we can't see the pattern or see what's going on in the relationship, we're going to assume it's something else, or it was something else. And I can't do anything about that. Let's see Aries through Pisces. All right. So if you're in no contact with somebody, and I see Aries, I'm afraid of commitment. All right. So right now, the Four of Pentacles can even be talking about with an Aries. You're trying to connect with somebody who's afraid of commitment. So if right out the gate, somebody's not committing to you, or somebody's not communicating with you, their actions are speaking louder than their voices. I mean, their actions are speaking louder than what they're saying. All right. So it's like you can look at it all different ways you want to, but when somebody's actions are not in alignment, then that's your truth. How long you stay or how long you try to make it work is on you, right? But right here, you're seeing Aries is saying, I'm afraid of commitment. It doesn't mean that I won't commit, but it's like you're up against a timing issue, and you're also up against somebody else's wounds. Somebody here who has some sort of issue, and you may think, well, that's easy to get over, but they might not be ready to. All right, so your Aries here, it feels like if you are getting contact from your Aries, it may be on again, off again. So if you've been in a pattern with an Aries, it looks like you may receive communication again, but just keep in mind that they are afraid of commitment. And so anytime you bring that serious conversation in, they may pull away. All right, Taurus. Friends or family disapprove of this connection. So there could be a lot of naysayers around your Taurus. It's not that they're not attracted to you, but they may be trying to keep up to some standard. They care too much about what others think about them. And if this relationship is unconventional or is complicated in some sort, they got a lot of people in their ear saying, hold back, maybe this isn't right for you. All right. So just know that it's not about how they feel about you. They're letting other people's opinions take control of the situation. Gemini, I feel like I'm not good enough for you. Now, this here kind of maps the situation here that I'm saying. If somebody feels like they can't meet your needs or give you what you really want, it's going to come across as them avoiding you, or them always feeling less than or dismissive or just pushing away from you. All right. There's something going on with your person that says, I feel like I'm not good enough for you, no matter what I do. And even if on your side of things, you're feeling like, but I'm okay with that, they're not feeling okay with it. And that's what's keeping a block from you. So you may get inconsistent communication coming in with a Gemini. They may try again, but every time they feel like they fail, they may pull back with that Four of Pentacles. All right, Cancer, I'm not ready. So this here also sums up this reading I'm seeing. You're trying to connect with somebody who's not ready and has said this in many ways. You know, people will say what you want them to say if they keep being asked the same question over and over. They will eventually tell you what you want to hear. That's why I don't care what people say to you. It's what people do. It's their actions. Now, somebody is saying, I'm not ready, or their actions are showing you that they're not ready for, you know, commitment or this relationship. So no matter how you go about this, you're up against a timing issue, which means you're going to be the one waiting and waiting and waiting until somebody is ready. And that will bring pressure to your person, who will feel like no matter what I do or say, I'm not ready, but the pressure's getting on me. So what are they going to do? They're going to run. Your Cancer is not ready to reach out. Leo, I feel you. So Leo feeling a connection with you. So there's some potential here. So you may have a very strong bond, emotional connection. You guys have something there that's brewing, all right? Something that's growing between the two of you. So you may be feeling this intuitively already. And a Leo here feeling ready to reach out. They really want to connect with you. They're really feeling something worth establishing or reconnecting. All right. Virgo, I miss hearing your voice. So you have a Virgo missing you right now, and you have Virgo showing up in your reading with this Hermit card. So I do feel like some things do take time, and you are up against a timing issue, you know, just where you're at in life issue. But somebody really misses you here, a Virgo. You may hear from a Virgo here who wants to reconcile with you or reconnect. Libra, I need security. All right. So if you're dealing with a Libra who's in a situation, they feel safer where they're at, and they must rely on somebody that they're connected to, and it's hard for them to let go of this connection. You see, the Four of Pentacles can be somebody who's holding on to somebody else for security purposes. All right. So that's what your battle may be with your Libra, is that they're not ready to jump ship just yet because they're getting their needs met elsewhere. Scorpio, there was someone interfering in our relationship. So maybe you were dealing with a third party situation, and it looks like that's over. So you and a Scorpio could be finding yourself reconnecting now. It could be the right time, right place. And the third party situation is over or dissolving itself. Now, Sagittarius, I see, I am not over you. All right. So Sagittarius clearly has some sort of connection with you, isn't letting go. So what I feel like with a Sagittarius this week, it's about holding back a little bit. And, you know, the Hermit card can say, stay grounded, try to see things differently. You have a Sagittarius that is slowly moving forward towards you. There could be a reconciliation coming in with you, or reconnecting with you and a Sagittarius. Capricorn, I am different now. So also, again, there could be a reconnect with a Capricorn. You may not recognize them. They may have different needs. They may see things differently. They may see you differently. They may wonder even if you still want them. You know, something has really changed with you and your Capricorn. So you may hear from them. Aquarius, I have trouble with intimacy. So you're dealing with a runner here, somebody here that no matter how much you try, you may be addicted to wanting to fix somebody. You know, that is a pattern we get caught up in. All right. But you do have an Aquarius here that's not ready to open up and be intimate with somebody. And so that doesn't mean you can't have a relationship, but it is be aware of that and recognize it, and just know that you can't fix it. They have to fix it themselves. Pisces, I see sometimes I hear your voice. So there's a strong connection between you and a Pisces as well. So I am seeing here, there's something triggering them in their mind to reach out to you. So you may hear from a Pisces. Now, if you're still with me, I'm going to do a yes or no bonus question for you. All right. So the answer is yes, Cancer. Now, you also have the Queen of Swords. And you have Uranus here. You know, Uranus is doing a lot right now, and it's very unpredictable energy. Now we're seeing the Queen of Swords is taking a step out of your emotions right now, right? And looking at facts and looking at things differently, looking at other people's perspectives. That's what the Queen of Swords asks you to do, right? And you may see clearly what was really going on and see why things were out of balance, and also see how to fix things, right? In a different way, a different light, by understanding your opponent. All right, so I do see clear communication coming in, all right, and things actually coming more to light for you, getting some sort of sense of truth and feeling some justice coming in too as well. So I love you guys. Hopefully that reading really helped give you some clarity this week, and let's go from there. Take care, guys.